lot more colorful now. Plain all white.
Yeah. I mean, very colorful. It looks like almost like a picture background.
Okay, well, we look a lot more colorful.
Yeah, definitely.
Indeed. Okay, so
You're hidden, right?
I'm a little hidden. Aloha.
Yeah.
Let's see, it lets me deal with all the messages. Okay, so I have started the broadcast. I have invited people, so I think we're ready to go. So, Tom, tell me a bit about the way we would do an app review is you send us an APK and tell us what we need. And I guess with your app, we need more than a few things. And what we normally do this in the about a half hour after these things are over. So what we're looking at doing is we've done a few live ones. The Android team does live app reviews, I think, on Fridays. Don't they? Hello, Christian.
Android,
Welcome.
We do them Wednesdays. Android does them Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're off camera a little bit, just as I'm a little out of frame. Welcome to our new office. This is
If you just move forward.
Very, very nice.
Mhm.
Very, very nice.
At the moment, there are just 20 of us over here, or 12 of us over here.
For now.
For now, and next Monday, the whole Google TV team moves in.
Nice view of the Santa Cruz Mountains, correct? Every night.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Christian was saying that's a nice view of the Santa Cruz Mountains.
We can almost pretend.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was only that sunny.
Yeah.
And warm.
Well, all these photographers now put filters on their pictures. I have a photographer buddy, but anyhow, that's off topic. But
Okay.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tom, anyway, the way it works is you send us your APK,
Okay.
and we look at it ideally before the Hangout and figure out if it would make a good conversation piece. And then what we do next is go through and show stuff. And say, okay, well, this is a good idea, this is a bad idea, this might not work. We also can take mocks on some occasions. So if you have like a PDF of stuff. And so anyway, ask away on your question. Oh, the other part is I'm going to try and do a Hangout, and we'll start this next week. We'll keep this time and date, and we'll try adding a Thursday at 4 o'clock Pacific time Hangout, and see how that works. And then we'll try to also do a alternating early morning Hangout. So it would be about early morning for us is like 9:30. Okay. Someone else just joined. Okay, cool. I have one more thing to say, and then we'll start with Tom's questions, and then we'll go to Greg's. So Alexander wanted to see some new devices, and we have a LG Buddy Box, or development system here. Hopefully, we'll have new TVs next week.
Already next week.
Yeah, I was told it might be next week or two.
Oh, the LG TVs.
The LG TVs, and some other manufacturers have said they're going to send us some as well. Yeah, so they were in shock that we didn't have any in Devrel. We weren't testing with their boxes, and they didn't like that. So, that said, why don't we start? Introduce ourselves again. I'm Les. Sean, Joel, Kristen.
Hi.
All right. So, Tom, you're on.
Okay. Yeah, I have, I have my own software company, and I'm developing an app that I posted there. It's really intensive audio and video, and it's like a music studio app. I have some new ideas, I think, of how it runs, and I think it's a perfect app for Google TV, even for professional music, probably eventually for professional musicians, that they would have a Google TV in their studios. But anyhow, I've got the prototype, and I'll send you that APK today on the Google TV. But the question is, obviously I need to be recording one audio stream while multiple streams are being played back as a given, like Pro Tools and, like a video editing program or audio tools like GarageBand or whatever. So, first question is, can I record and play back an audio file at the same time on Google TV?
Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
It depends what's going on in the system. There should be enough media channels to do that, but you just need to make sure. You have to be very careful on managing it. You have to be very careful of what other apps are running, and you have storage.
Yeah, so it is possible, because I was a little worried. So I could open up multiple media streams then for both playing and recording, and obviously it, testing and finding out the performance is a key thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go with that, and I think this week what I'm going to try to do is hopefully be able to record and play back at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, what I would do is just do a very simple sample code based on API demos that you should be able to just take the media recording section and the playback section and combine it and see what happens. Because if you can't make it work in the simple form, it's not worth creating an app around.
Right. I mean, I can mix the tracks and then just play back one. I mean, I've thought of a way. Google TV might be a really perfect platform, because I'm thinking I could use the microphone on my smartphone as the recording device, and then doing the playback actually on the Google TV box.
Okay, so again, set up as simple a demo as you can, or a test of your technology. I mean, API demos is easy to see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything that just does streaming from an Android phone.
That would be ideal, is to be able to stream it right into the to the box. But I was thinking, worst cases, I could record it on the smartphone, and then, you know, when they hit the stop button, I could just upload it to the box, and
Oh, there you go. Okay.
you know.
So you might be a little soon for a review, but you can certainly go through and run these experiments.
Yeah.
You know, these are easy experiments to do.
Mm-hmm.
And start working out your flow. So create your own mocks by hand. Just draw up, what you expect to see on the phone, what changes might occur, what you expect to see on the TV, and what controls, and go from there. All right. I'm going to go to see if Greg has any questions, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so mine are more general questions. My app is, I want it to run on the TV also, but so my questions are just kind of general. I hope it's not too general for this forum, but I have a list of things, a couple of different sections.
You and Tom are the only ones here asking questions, so...
Okay, so we can take advantage. Great, said I was kind of hoping.
You can take advantage of that.
Expertise there. So, subject areas or fragments, working with the support library and animation, and also some issues with the samples. Any of those?
We can try talking about them. I can tell you that I personally have never used the support library.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're talking about the Android extension library that adds fragments back to
Absolutely.
Froyo.
Yep.
Yep. I have not tried that. I've heard rumors that there are some issues with it on Google TV, but haven't tried it.
Okay. Okay.
So let's shoot and see what happens.
Okay. Okay. Well, that would be good to know. Yeah, and I'm popping up my document here.
Are you able to hear us? I put my laptop close to the microphone. We can move the mic if it's...
No, you sound great.
Okay, cool.
And I'll do screen share. That's easier.
You should be able to share your screen if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have actually used the library in one.
Yeah.
Let's see, Google Developer Hours. There we go. These are like some of my questions. So like for fragments, why are they hosted in a frame layout? And can fragments be hosted in other layouts? Is there something particular to the frame layout? I'm just basing that on the example.
They don't have to be.
Okay. So there's no particular issue with that. Why do they declare them as public static interclasses for a lot of the fragment activities and then the fragment setup? Optimization type thing?
Yeah, there's a blog post that talks about, and probably some Google I/O sessions from a couple of years ago that talk about interclasses and why use static things to just make things go faster.
Okay.
Also you use a lot more publics in Android than you would normally in programming.
Okay.
Christian, feel free to jump in at any point.
Yeah, it's become a mess.
Okay, that's an honest thing. Sometimes that's just the truth.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of inner classes, but sometimes you need them. The APIs are designed so that you need to sometimes just define anonymous inner classes.
Yeah, I will also add that I'm not a fan of them either. Certainly not before I got here.
Okay.
But one of my interviewers, we had a long conversation about inner classes. And
Okay.
apparently I said the right things.
There you go.
Okay,
Did that-
by the way, you can actually, there's a, in the future, this is fine for now, but in the future you can actually share a Google document kind of directly in a way that's a little higher fidelity.
Okay. Okay.
That's part of Google+. Because occasionally what we're seeing is stuff cut out. So
Okay. So that's probably my overlap in Windows. Okay. Got it. Okay. Are you guys have any plans for a map fragment? Like an official one? And I have one right now, and that'll come up to the next question. But
yeah,
what about love?
certainly not from Google TV.
Okay.
But that would be a great question to ask the Android team, and they will probably say, "I'm sorry, we can't talk to you about futures."
Okay.
But they would know, and we wouldn't.
Okay.
But I will say that there's a bunch of our stuff, or stuff that relates to us that we've been seeing is just being done as fragments, that it's just very easy to invoke a fragment that does something and make it go away, and it's very self-contained.
Yeah.
So go on to the next one.
Okay. And so that was, and I was asking because the way I implemented it was to basically do a local, inherit from a local activity manager, and do essentially like a tab host and host an actual map activity in that tab. And it works great. It's something I saw online, but then I thought I saw a deprecated mark when I was building one time, and it went away. So I don't know if I really saw that, but that's why I was kind of like, are you familiar with the local activity manager? And are there any plans to kill that? Because it works fine right now, but that would be something that would. If
I don't know anything about that. Again, that's a topic for the Android team.
Okay. Yeah.
Who, by the way, is right after this.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
and we'll skip the support library. And I don't want to manipulate time.
The support library was not built with D-pad in mind, so that's the only comment I would have, is that it should all work, but it might not work with D-padding.
Okay.
But it's also got a lot of useful classes in there that can help you. So definitely pay attention to it.
Yeah, and I'm using it, and I like it because, I like the whole fragments thing. My existing app was tabs, and so when I went to redo it, I wanted to move to the new model. But I also, there's nothing really in there that can't be backported, so I wanted to support as old a platform as I could. And that's why this last question comes here. Like the gradient, the shapes and the gradients, it says in the documentation that it goes back to API level 1. And I was wondering is it just a bug in the plugin in Eclipse? Because this is what they look like at API level 4. Can you see that? This is far. And then I did it for API level 5. It picks up the middle thing. And it's pretty much not until 7 that it actually looks like.
Yeah, our interest is really 11 and above.
Okay, so yeah.
So again, I point you towards
To
the
Android
Android.
team. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, like a lot of my questions are general. Okay. And this will be the same
And
thing.
give my regards to Reto.
Reg. Okay.
Reto.
Reg.
they are-
Ah. Okay. So I'll just wait on those.
So they
Yeah,
have
they
their
are not Google.
Google Plus page. So just make sure you add them to your circles. And as Les said, they are on at 2 o'clock. So, but you find the Hangout on their own Android Developer Plus page. So that's probably the best place. And you might just, if you miss the Hangout, just send them a message, share it with them, and ask about those. It's
Okay.
definitely possible that there is some bugs in the documentation that you found there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go back to Tom, and then we'll come back to you.
So thank you for that API demos. I searched that. So media player and media recorder. So I will work with that this week.
Okay.
So on my app, so on my TV, it's displaying just the way I want it to be displayed. Can I assume if it's on a different size TV, it's just going to look right? In other words, all the buttons show, and it's kind of like, okay, this is fine, but I'm only testing on my 46-inch TV.
Okay. There are two resolutions of television that we deal with, 720 and 1080. So you're using a Logitech Review?
Yeah.
So you can tell the Review to put out both. So you can tell it's normally on automatic, and as long as your TV supports 1080, that will be 1080. But you can also force your Review to be 720.
Okay.
And you can test with that. But typically what that means is a 720 layout is extra large, and is TV DPI, and a 1080 is XH DPI. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Although I would discourage the use of TV DPI and just use HDPI.
Yeah, you could use HDPI and it should work.
Close enough.
Will it accept these days?
It will scale by like about
0.216.
4%
Yeah.
or 6% or something.
Okay. So anyway, you can do explicit layouts if it's not working. So start by creating a single 1080 layout. See if it plays well on a 720. And if it does, do no more work.
Okay.
But, if you put something into the, you can create multiple layouts and multiple assets for those layouts, and it will automatically adjust, scale, pick up the right assets in the right situations. And it doesn't require a line of code to change. But you really do want to test with both DPIs.
Okay.
Though the reality is that majority of people are running 1080.
Yeah.
In my belief. So that's a worthwhile query.
Yeah.
So, okay. I have another question. Is there a simple API? I kind of searched around to know that I'm running on a Google TV versus a smartphone.
It's the way you do it is look for com.google.android.tv.
Yeah, it's basically using the package manager and check if the package for the sorry, Package Manager check for the feature of Google TV, which I believe is com.google.android.com. So I would have to look it up in the manifest file. But it's pretty self-explanatory. If you look, the two pieces of information you need is the Package Manager and then the feature for Google TV.
Okay. Okay, good. And then my final question is, I mean, the review, ever since the Android update in December, it's been really kind of unstable. I mean, in my case, at least. And just like reading, you know, Gmail and kind of using it as a third screen. And it seems like it's very slow too. I don't know.
Let me just stop you at this point and say that an update's coming.
Okay.
And I can't tell you when, but it's very, very soon.
Yeah, I'll be anxious to see it because I've really reserved sending in bug reports, and you know, because it's not like my main screen. It's when I'm using it for, you know, for fun or whatever, you know, for entertainment.
The update will speed up Chrome substantially.
Okay.
And it will add a good HLS to it, we believe. There's a bunch of stuff, but it will... I posted a while back about the Sony update to 2.1 on my Google Plus page.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you read that, that and a bit more is coming.
Okay, great. Well, I'm looking forward to that, and I'll tell you, I'll know right away if it's improved, because it's very, it's never really been good since December. But anyway.
You'll see some real wins.
Okay, great. That's all I had for today, for me.
Okay, we'll go back to Greg. See if he's got anything else.
Hey, just to I put my share this. I'm not quite ready for a review yet, but it looks good on TV. By the way, at least on the TV and on the emulator, I think things are coming along.
Okay.
How do we know when we're ready for a review? Yeah, all my problems have to do with running it on the backwards compatible versions. It's running fine.
Okay, well, you're running it on the emulator. Cool.
Yeah, I'm running on the emulator, and I have a Transformer Prime, and I have a Sony NSX 46 GT one, and it runs fine on. It looks good on all of those. So not having any problems with the Google TV.
Nice.
Yeah.
So one thought that comes to my mind, and feel free to ignore me. This is not my real day job.
Okay.
But looking at the design of the page here, I would really reconsider if you want to use the white background, simply because usually what we say is on television it's a little bit more pleasing to the eye if the background is dark. If for branding or for consistency you want to use the white, as I said, feel free to ignore me. This is really just an observation.
And then after you're done taking Christian's design principles, what I would be willing to talk to you about is your stops and favorites.
Yes.
Having that over on that side is cool. Are you able to navigate the map?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you navigate how do you get into the map, and how do you do stuff in the map and then go back up to stops and favorites?
And right now, I've just started in on the stops and favorites.
Okay, well, what you might want to do then is put stops and favorite somewhere else, like at the bottom of that
So he switches completely. And right now there are actual text in here, but I haven't updated. Like I said, this is coming from the phone. Where he's black background, I haven't updated the text settings for the
Yeah, that's
top
cool.
screen yet. Yeah.
Of
And his
course,
favorite-
I'm not usually carrying a TV when I'm looking for my bus, but
Exactly. It's mainly a phone app. Yeah, exactly.
No, not,
That's true.
I don't know. I could see me running to my TV. The nice thing about this type of app is, you're in your living room and you're ready to go somewhere. You could bring it up on your TV and just see where you need to go. I mean.
oh yeah, absolutely for route planning and such.
Yeah.
Might also be an interesting app. You basically pre-configure the bus stops around your house, and maybe you have two within walking distance. One is up the block, the other is down the block. Two different routes, and it shows you which bus is going to come next. Like go to this bus stop today if you want to leave now, or wait whatever 17 more minutes, and then the closer to your house is serviced and all this. So I think there's different use cases around the TV being sort of a stationary device versus you walking around and just saying, hey, what is the nearest bus stop where I am right now this minute?
Yeah, and it definitely came from when I was in San Francisco. I lived like at Opera Plaza, like downtown, and there's several places I could go from there, and I did. I just wanted to look at my TV in the morning. I was walking by and see, should I run for that one? Yeah, leave my house or not? Yeah.
So anyway, those big green buttons, as cool as they are, might be better off at the bottom of the list. And if that list actually grows more than 10 elements, they might be better off even at the top of the list.
Okay, talk about the top. Let me see.
If you want to scroll through stuff.
And I'm gonna bring it up in the.
Eclipse.
In the 2.1.
Okay.
Emulator too. Because I think that is. I think we might be on the same page there. And actually, I would really like to replace that with the action bar style. Yeah.
Left nav bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, check that out.
Yeah, and that's why I was looking at the support library. It was for keep getting the wrong thing here.
Also, take a look at the left nav bar.
Okay.
That's not part of the action bar. If you go to developers.google.com/TV and look at resources, you should be able to find, click on Android, then resources. You should be able to find...
I have that demo. You talk about the sample code? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do have that.
So take a look at that.
I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Left nav bar might help you.
Okay. That. And is that also backwards compatible?
It's not. You won't want to be using it on a phone.
Okay.
But it very much works on a tablet.
Okay. It also, so the left nav bar does use the fragments.
Yeah.
Okay.
My understanding of fragments, because I did look at that, is that only if you can't fit everything on your current screen. It's kind of like it's a way to easily move your assets that are off screen onto screen. Is that correct?
Actually, fragments have a whole bunch of uses.
Okay.
And use cases, but the way that I was originally taught them was that very often in a phone app, you have a desire to go from selecting something to that something. So selecting a message to the message, selecting a person to detail, and that you only really have enough real estate on a phone to have that list of things. So on a tablet, you can have the list of things and the detail about the thing. And so by using fragments, it's a very easy way to go from your phone to your tablet. Okay, because then the implementation of the fragment, if each activity is implemented as a fragment, then putting both fragments up at the same time is very easy. It doesn't require any more additional work. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, that's helpful.
Okay, so this is how it looks on a phone.
Yeah. And excuse me, he's not ready for prime time either. He automatically goes to the map view after I select him right now. And
right, which is exactly what I was describing.
okay.
You're fine.
And you know what? Let me try and close this, and I just can't perform. I'm killing my machine here. Close the TV one.
I think the question I have is, we're focused on TV stuff. We're happy to talk about it. But the guys to talk to about fragments are coming up right up after us.
Okay. Excellent. I will definitely.
In fact, they probably have already started their process. So I'm going to bow out because I think we're done talking about TVs for the day. I will announce next week's Hangout. We'll certainly meet again at this time, but we'll also try for a Thursday late time. I will hold out my offer for to review apps. If somebody's okay with getting their app reviewed in public, send me an APK. We'll look at it. And also I will plug, I am doing a developer lab in LA in June. And anyone who's interested in that, please sign up. I'll do a more formal sign up, but it's still going to be the same tricks. It's a day-long event. We will get you up and running, and you have direct access to our engineers. And so it's really a great win for getting a chance to get up and running with Google TV. So thank you all for coming. And
quick question: How was the hackathon?
It went very, very well. We posted some comments from it. I saw about 25 different apps, of which I think about 7 or 8 would make great apps for television.
Wow.
And my choices were different than the judges. But I think we want to work with everybody who wants to create an app. And so it's... but we posted a blog post. We also did... We're going to do another blog post soon about the hackathon that happened at the same time in London.
Oh, okay.
And so that should be up. But the I posted the note on the hackathon yesterday. I think Sean must have posted it yesterday to Google developers or Google TV developers.
The final report hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, but the blog post has come up, hasn't it?
Blog post, yeah.
Yeah. So it should be there.
Cool.
Okay.
London actually had a lot of apps too.
And London had a lot of apps.
Yeah, almost 10 plus apps.
10 plus apps.
Nice.
So cool. All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Aloha.
Aloha.
All right.